Yes, yes, the recording has been. Okay, it's 7:30, so we'll begin to have a lot of people. So please, Connect Digital and Godswill, you admit people in. We should start right about now. Okay, I'm not sure today we will do African time. It's 7:30, and I like to start right on time. It's on the dot. Okay, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on wherever you are in the world. It's 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 7:30 p.m. In Nigeria here now. I'm aware for some other people like those who are connecting from America right now. It's about 11:30 a.m. From America now for those who are connected there. So I say good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are connecting. You are welcome to the Aspire for Excellence Foundation webinar series. Today, we will be looking at a topic titled Resilient Strategies to Adopt in Tough Economic Conditions. Every one of us knows that for over a year, and beginning January, February this year, the economic conditions in the country really has turned, I would say, towards the south. And our speaker today is very experienced. He works in one of the banks in Nigeria. We will read his bio very soon. He has a wealth of experience. He's not new to the Aspire for Excellence Foundation. In fact, he's been here for he's been here last year, and I think maybe the year before last, if I'm not mistaken. So this is not his first time he's here. Just some ground rules before we start. Please, there is a chat box just below. If you want the materials, my colleagues working with me will share the WhatsApp group so that you can join, so we can share them. If you have any questions to ask, please share them also there. The speaker will take the questions later at the end of his topic. Just please mute your microphones, please. Put your videos off, reduce network bandwidth consumption. And I think with that, we should be in a position, I would say, to start. Okay? We'll be in a position to start that. All right. Just before we start, George, could you please introduce our speaker for tonight while I share the slides for tonight? And if you want me to go, you just tell me next and I would move. So I begin by sharing. Okay. Can you tell me if you can see my screen, please?
Yes, sir.
Can you see the slides?
Yes, sir.
Can you confirm you can see the slides, please?
Yes, sir. We can see it. I can see it, sir.
Yes, sir. We can see it, sir.
Okay. Just a moment. It seems something. Okay. Confirm it's in presentation mode, please.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So, George, go ahead, please.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, all. By introduction, our guest, Mr. Tony Itsueli, is a middle management staff at First Bank of Nigeria Limited. He manages customer relationship with the bank and offers business and financial advice to customers. As a fallout of these, he analyzes and recommends credit requests of customers for executive management approval. The goal of this is to grow the customer's business portfolio by at least 200% and make them fanatical about the bank. He's also a pastor and the host of a teaching program on radio tagged Hope Theater. His personal desire is to equip young people with knowledge that empowers them with problem-solving skills and mentality, ensuring that they are never hopeless and always productive. The platform he uses to do this is Hopeland International. His philosophy about life is that 1, integrity is better than wealth, and 2, he can do better than what he does now if he knows better than what he knows now. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, George. And without much ado, I want to introduce our speaker for tonight, Mr. Tony Itsueli. Sir, you have the floor. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Very grateful once again for this very wonderful opportunity to be on this platform that I know is changing lives all over the world. And I appreciate you for this zeal and passion to continue to arm people with knowledge that will improve their lives. I want to believe that our engagement tonight will also add some value. Let me quickly state that there is no know-it-all. We are all co-learners on this journey, and I would like us to actually participate and also share our ideas. We are all passing through the tough economic times, and frankly, there's no one that knows all the best approach to deal with it. Some of us might have some very ingenious ways which might be very relevant to us. So thank you, Mike, for this wonderful opportunity. Let's go to our outline for tonight. Let's look at it.
All right. I'm trying to move, but somehow just hold on a bit. Seems it's a bit stuck. Okay. I don't know. It seems it was stuck. Let me try to share again. What do you see? Can you see the course outline?
No, sir.
Not yet.
You cannot see it. Oh, okay. Sorry. Let me go back again. Sorry about that. Let me share again, please. Just a moment. You would see it here. It seemed it was a bit stuck. Confirm what you can see now, please.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's in presentation mode now. Okay, let's go.
Okay. Also, okay, so that's our course outline. We'll quickly run through the present Nigerian situation, just a summary to give us a snapshot of where we are. And then I have attempted to do some little, right? Then we look at the suggested or survivor tips. We have actually 1 and 2. Then I just added few suggested skills to learn at this time. There are others which you may already know. You know, it's important that we grow our skill base at this time, and then we'll go to closing remarks. So let's look at the next slide. Okay, fine. So where are we now as a nation? Number one, we are in an exchange rate crisis. Remember, the Naira has been devalued. And in fact, for a lot of people, the Naira has become worthless. And of course, this has given rise to many Nigerians having to preserve the value of their wealth in foreign currency. So there has been a mad rush for the greenback, as we call it, the dollars. In fact, I spoke with a friend in the UK, and the guy has been hard pressed with requests to, make transfers out of Nigeria so that people can save their monies abroad. So you see, it's an exchange rate crisis, really. The government is trying to grapple with that. The central bank has been doing everything, just beating the air, trying to solve this. We have major insecurity problem, which, this government has not been able to find solution to. You remember that in Kaduna, the same thing. Remember in Benue, food basket of the nation, people have been killed in Plateau. So a lot of the places where we have food coming in have been attacked. And so insecurity has dealt us huge blow as a nation. We are still grappling with that. Then we have the monetary policy rate. The Monetary Policy Committee sat some time ago, that is the committee of the central bank that determines interest rates in the nation. They sat some time ago and decided to increase the interest rate or lending rate from 18.75 to 22.75. That is what economists call 400 basic points. The implication of that is that banks immediately have had to react, and they have also had to increase their own lending rates. So the CBN lends to bank at 22.75. So the banks are in serious, very difficult times right now. Also, they increase the cash reserve ratio to 45%. Cash reserve ratio talks about the amount of money any bank will leave with the central bank. They won't touch it. So the central bank is taking 45% of every deposit in the bank. So a bank that 100,000 naira, central bank takes 45,000 and keeps interest free. They're not paying anything on it. And do not forget that the bank has to pay interest on that money. So it is a tough call. What they're trying to do is to eliminate excess cash. Why? Because if you look at, I talked about inflation. When I wrote this, when I prepared this slide, inflation was 29.9%. But right now it's over 31%. Food inflation, as we talk now, is about 37%. That's where we are. You know, of course, that is a crazy thing. So in spite of the increase in the lending rate to mop up excess cash, we see inflation going up. So it shows you, and that's why I put cost push there. Our problem has never been demand. It has always been costs being adjusted. Exchange rate, for instance, that has been adjusted has affected the value of a number of things. So that is a challenge for us. That's the Nigerian economic situation. We have corruption, which has continued to be a recurring decimal in Nigeria, and it has become a culture. Increasing population, which we have been unable to manage. Real sector crisis. Real sector talks about the sector that actually produces what we use. So the production sector, we have all of these things in serious crisis. How much can banks, at what price will banks lend to them? And these are the people that actually employ a lot of our people. So we have a big challenge. High lending rates by the central bank, 22.75, that's high. And also banks lending. In fact, right now, I think the average lending rate for banks have hit about 36%, which is very high. With inflation at over 31%, when you add that, then you see how much a business needs to deal with. Then you talk about political crisis. All of these things present, these are tough times, really. Can we look at some of the projections that I've put together? So 3.1 gross domestic product growth projected by the IMF for Nigeria, which is still very small compared to where we are coming from. It is rather negligible. We are even hoping that we'll meet this target. Population to rise from 227.7 million in 2024 to 233.3 million. So we just keep producing these children without thinking of whether we can feed them or not. And by 2050, it's projected that Nigeria will have the largest population in the world. The issue is, can we take care of them? Exchange rates, I believe that it might likely stabilize at 1,400, 1,500. That's what I believe. Hopefully, if the CBN can continue to attract foreign investment, because with the increase in the money market rates, the open market operations, we see a lot of money coming in from abroad. If they can continue like that, then we might have some stability. And if the country can actually meet its oil quota and sell oil, then we might be able to stabilize it. Inflation would rise. You see, it's I said about 30. As at when I prepared this slide, it didn't even wait for me to finish. It had gotten to over 31%, and it's likely to go up further. Lending rates to rise to stem inflation. So the CBN might react to this in the next monetary policy committee meeting and decide to even increase lending rate further to be able to stem the rise of inflation. Real sector will continue to struggle, of course, and contract. And of course, that we see unemployment or the increase. Money market will continue to attract higher and attractive rates if it continues the way the central bank is going. And then from its recent report, they said about 31 point something million people will be in food crisis by June. So you see unemployment rate, more families likely to be sucked into poverty. That is true. Insecurity likely to increase because there's really no commitment as far as I see from side of government. But then a good part is that there are great opportunities in the agricultural and alternative power value chain. In fact, I was in a training on the opportunities in gas. There's so much going on there. Especially with many companies beginning to look towards electric vehicles. And gas seems to be what they will fall back on to charge those batteries. There's so much coming on in the alternative power value chain. Thank you. Let's go to survivor tips, therefore. Now, these are all the things. So the first thing is do not panic or fear. After seeing all of these things, people will say, is there any way out? You see, it takes a strong mentality to actually secure a good actuality. It takes a strong mentality to secure a good actuality. So don't panic. One of the things that fear does is that it dries up your creative juices. You're unable to actually think and bring out solutions. You see, when things are tough, we have to be tougher. And I've discovered that in the midst of crisis, there is always opportunities. In the midst of crisis, you find a lot of opportunities for those that will refuse to fear, but will look at it in the face. You see, the way the Chinese have, tried to describe crisis, they look at it as danger and opportunity. Every time you see danger, look at it by the side, there's an opportunity. So don't be afraid. Number two, be ruthless with waste. Be ruthless. You see, in Nigeria, it's a culture to be wasteful. We must cut costs. We must cut costs. You don't need to be everywhere. You must embrace financial discipline. Follow your money. Track your spending. Follow your money. Track your spending. We are in a time when there's little or no residual income. And so it's important, therefore, to, account for every dime. Account for every dime. This is not the time to just, play away money. We must watch out. There are places you may need to stop going to if it will make you waste money. All right? These are little things you can do. For me, there are things I will not do. There are places I will not go to right now because I will not want to spend money. There are things I've cut off. In fact, the other day, my wife came and was telling me about the cost of Indomie. I said, what is the alternative? She told me, I said, cut off Indomie from our menu, from the children's menu. They will not die if they don't eat it. So you need to look at it, basically, and decide what is the best way to go. Become a budget freak. That is the truth. Begin to budget. There are many people that do not like to plan their money. In fact, you don't plan your income, how to spend money. before when money comes. You plan it before it comes. You must have a budget every month that you will not go over. Keep your budget sacrosanct. In fact, one of my pastors years ago, he said because of the level of income he had, it was a rule that nobody can eat egg in his house. They could not afford it at all. And he said, if you will eat egg, you have to lay it. You have to lay it. So that's how extreme it was. So you see, if you don't budget, if you don't plan, then you have only planned to fail. So you see, you have to get a proper scale of preference. What is most important? What is most urgent? Put it together like that and draw up a budget. Remember, I learned this many years ago from Bishop Oyedepo. He said, what I cannot afford, I do not need now. What I cannot afford. This has guided me in tough times. What I cannot afford, I do not need now. So, if you cannot afford it, leave it. Leave it. One day, you'll be able to afford it. Nothing is actually leaving you behind. Look after your health. You don't want to spend money on health. You don't want to get into a health crisis. And that's why I said, one of the things I said is that choose to be joyful. Don't get yourself into a messy situation in your health. Look after your health. There is nothing that's happening now that has not happened before. Preserve your joy. Preserve your joy. Take some walks for your heart's sake. Watch yourself. Don't let things get to you that you start having issues with your health. No, it's not worth it. You are not the president of Nigeria. Take it easy. Don't be obsessed with trend. And that is the issue with a lot of young people too. It is trendy now, so I have to do it. This is the raining cloth. I have to sew it. I must have it. I must have this shoe. It is what is trending. I must be this way, and so on and so forth. And many people just wasting money. What is it? Somebody said that people spend money or to impress people that are not actually focused on them. They are not even in them at all. If you ask somebody that you sat beside in church or whatever thing you attend, and you ask them the next week, please, what color of cloth did I wear? The person will not remember. Will not remember. That's the truth. So, forget trends and cut your coat according to your cloth. All right? For salary earners, I will advise, buy in bulk. For business purposes, buy in bits. Why did I say that? Salary earners, you have fixed income. You earn it every month. All right? So, if you don't plan it now, it will finish. If it finishes, no one will come again. That is a big problem. All right? And that's why you find a lot of salary earners, they are in the rat race or a vicious circle, rather, of debts. Before the salary comes, they have borrowed the whole salary. And when the salary comes, they are paying back debt. It's a crisis. That is financial crisis. All right? But when you target to buy in bulk, and when I say buy in bulk, please, if you can eliminate middlemen from your buying, please do. My wife, there's a market we go to near the River Niger. We go there to buy straight from the farmers. All right? Somebody will say, he's a banker. Hey, management staff, for where? It is big name that will kill small dog. There's no need. I can tell you the truth. If you can eliminate the middlemen are the ones that make these prices so high. You can eliminate them by going to the source. There are many of us that our work or something takes us through villages where things are cheap. We don't buy anything there. Buy and carry home. Save yourself some money. All right? For business people, because your money is investable, you need to be investing and making turnover. Don't go and tie it down. Just continue to roll it over and continue to spend from what you get. That's why I said buy in bits, because you need that money to continue to roll over in your business. Avoid major projects for now. you can go back to them later. All right? But now you need money. Right now, what many people must activate is emergency mode. Emergency mode. Because you are now trying to make sure that you survive. You get through this time. The time will come and pass. It has come to pass. But you must get through it alive. So activate the emergency mode. Some of those projects can wait, But if there are things you can do that will cost saving, like if you are spending so much money on fuel and you need to do solar, please, by all means, do it. That will help you. All right? Make short-term investments in money market, both in Naira and Forex. So if you have access to foreign currency, why not? Invest it. Let it be making some money for you. In the money market, put it there. I said short-term because of the way interest rates go up and down. So you can take advantage of increase in the interest rates. Just continue to take that turnover and increase, the value of your money. And as your capital increases, so also your payout will increase, which will also become another source of income for you. So take advantage of it now. The money market, treasury bills, you have mutual funds, you have a lot of things going on. Mutual funds have continued to perform at about 12%. Even last year when things were tough. Right now, I think it's doing close to 14%, about 13 or so. I mean, that is good, very good. So if you can take advantage of that, to continue to, increase the value of your money. Diversify your income sources by exploring online opportunities to earn dollars. There are opportunities today. There are many people working remotely and they are earning foreign currency. The truth is this. In Nigeria today, you can't depend on only one stream of income. It is so dangerous. So dangerous. For me, I work in a bank. I offer some consultancy services because I am not someone that has time to start doing business, running around. My wife handles businesses. Every business we have is my wife that handles it. So when she needs some capital, she'll come to me and say, Oga, come and do something for me. I look at it, I tell her it's a loan. I try to manage a market for her. All right, so she sells hair, she has a poultry, she bakes, and I think she's talking about another one again. She's an Igbo woman, so she has eyes for business. Me, I'm not that guy. I don't know how to do business so much. I can consult, but I don't know how to do that business thing. I'm mainly a professional. So I use my strengths. All right? And so you can't sit down and expect manna to fall from heaven. So we have these streams of income, right? And then you have to look at for Forex now, because of the state of the Naira, it's important that at least one source of your income should be in Forex. So it's something that should be looked at. Keep a functional social network. Last time I was here, we talked about social capital. It is so important that you have a good functional social network at this time, because that is where you can mainly sell your products. That's where you can create a community. That's where you can have somebody tell somebody about what you are doing. It's so important. And even in tough times, you might have one or two people. I remember about 2 months ago, there's this guy that had been owing my bank, and the facility had gone bad. We had this property for years. It has been like that, and we're thinking of selling it. It's should be about 10 years now. The guy, his business had closed down. He was sick. His friends, he was in this association. His people came together and came to meet us, and we want to rescue our brother. Let's negotiate. I sat down with them, got 1 or 2 officials, negotiated, came up with something, and said, okay, he said, let us rescue his asset at least and see how we can start him up. If he did not have that social network, that is over for him. He was already in his village when they went to pick him up. All right? This is so important. Prioritize repayment of high interest credit facilities if you are in debt. It's better that you pay off those ones that have high interest. Remember now that anybody taking a personal loan against salary, for instance, in banks will be thinking about about 36% per annum to pay. That's about 3% per month. You have to ask yourself, is this something I can do? All right. And if you have, there are people also that have taken facilities from loan sharks that they are charging very high interest rates. Please deal with that. Pay up that one first so that they can release you. Okay. Improve your financial knowledge. This is the time to know. Mike Murdoch said something years ago. I read it, and it has been a guide to me. He said, "You are not serious about finance until the total number of books in your library is equal to the number of your age." That when the total number of books in your library on finance is equal to the number of your age, then you know that you have become serious with finance. Finance needs to be studied, all right? And it's important for you to read, understand, keep abreast with latest financial news, know what is going on so that it can help you plan. Many people are not interested in what the central bank says. It will affect you. Be interested, seek knowledge. Nigerian foreign stock market investment, depending on your investment strategy, this is very important. Every one of us must have an investment strategy, whether it's short-term, long-term, middle-term, you must have an investment strategy. Based on your investment strategy, you can decide to do money market or stock market. Imagine those that invested in Trustcorp. Where are they now? Many things right now, many companies in stock market are undervalued. Remember that MTN, their share capital have been eroded. Is it a bad company? No. Is it a company that is not making profit? No. It's just that they misplanned their forex. I can tell you that with what they have learned, next year will be better because the forex thing will be more. So, is it not a good time to invest there? You know, so these are things you look at. All right. Remain flexible and ready to make changes in dynamic economic situations or environments. We are in an environment that is unpredictable. Be ready, be agile in your strategy, ready to take advantage of it. I told somebody one day, I said, if they ask you, somebody calls you, can you build? Even if you don't know how to build, tell them, yes, so I can build. Oh. Then you look for a builder. That's how I go. You have to be flexible. You have to have wisdom. Look for somebody that has the skill and quickly partner with him to do it. Be flexible. All right? Consider alternative career paths or business strategies if needed. Don't stick to one. I must stay here. I must stay here. No. All right? If something is no longer working for you, start thinking of change. Change is the only constant thing in life. Start thinking of change. Right? If you find out that I'm already planning to transit in my career because I'm already looking at the future. I've looked at my age, I've looked at the growth prospects, and I know where I will peak. So I'm already trying to look for other things. Now, this is so important. It's so important and crucial that we consider these things. Stay informed about tax incentives, palliative packages, and other government grants in your line of business or work. There are things coming up every day. For instance, in export, there are palliatives, there are incentives for exporters, in Nigeria today. For people in gas, there are incentives. There are incentives. In Abia now, the governor is talking about giving women, empowering women with facilities. Look at all of these things. These things come up every day. How can we take advantage of it? I mean, if you get a single-digit loan today, that is amazing. It's amazing because it's difficult to get. All right? Seek advice from financial professionals. Seeking advice from financial professionals can also provide personalized guidance. Yes, this is very key. Ask people. In my life, I've always tried to consult. The times I thought I knew it all and I did it, those were the times I made the greatest losses. There have been a time in my life I had to reboot. As far I lost everything. Like I started life all over again. That was in 2012. I started life all over again. But you see, I still came back. If I didn't have some of the knowledge I have, it would have been over for me, right? So this is so important. Look out for people that can advise you, that know these things, and they can guide you. People that look for mentors, they are not stupid, all right? They are not stupid. Regularly review your bills and negotiate with service providers. You know, in Nigeria, there's the big manism mentality that plagues us. There are many people, they like to go to supermarkets, malls, and, you know, just do their thing, big boys. Girls, you may want to go to a place where you can negotiate. You may want to look at it. Are there things coming out? For instance, I looked at it, there was this promo package for Glow that if I do this, they give me extra data. I went for it. I will look for those that will give me more time to talk. And that's why I went to buy a Glow SIM card. When I saw what my wife was enjoying, I said, no. This woman is just enjoying and leaving me. She was just taking, I went quickly because the package I was getting MTN was expensive. I had to run. So you see, you can see all of these things. Try to see how you can reduce your cost. Negotiate. There's nothing wrong in it. Negotiate. Ask for a discount. When you do some things, ask, can I get a discount? You go to a hotel, I always do it if I get into a hotel. Can I get a discount? Don't be doing big boy and following Yahoo boys. They don't work for anything. They are thieves. You do your own thing. You work hard for your money. All right? Look for ways to reduce fixed and variable costs. Of course, you know, there are fixed income and fixed costs that you face every time. They are there. You must deal with them. You must buy food. You must pay your rent. You must pay your bills. They are fixed. Some of these things are just, there are some others that are variable. They change from time to time. You must look for ways. Are there alternatives? Are there alternatives, cheaper alternatives that you can explore? It's not by force that you use one. Somebody says, my brand is peak milk. There's nothing. No, I am the peak of the pack. No. Please, the person can become the peak of poverty. You know, so you can get other. You see, one of my friends said, it may not be adequate, but let it be present. So if I don't eat meat, I will not die. Okay? I will not die. I will grind plenty crayfish and put in it. It's still protein. Protein is protein. So there are things to do. It is not by force. Nobody is seeing you. There's nobody that's recording what is in your stomach. Look at it and minimize your fixed and variable costs. Invest in acquiring new skills that are relevant to your field or industry. Continue to improve on the job. Improve on the job. Be relevant to the point that if you are not there, they miss you. The other day, my group head is managing 2 states. He called me. He said, Tony, please come and help me do this. One day, send something to me, analyze it. Analyze the financial of the group and send to me. I did the analysis, made the graphs, sent to him. He told me, wow, you are just giving me what to say to my people. I mean, that is it. Make yourself relevant. Invest in yourself. Get new skills. Become better in your place. All right? And above all, this is what you must remember. God is still in charge. He will not leave you. He will not forsake you. That always guides me. I'm a child of God. And I always tell people, this one shall walk in my favor. He shall walk in my favor. So if God is in charge, I don't need to be in charge. Let him, he's the best person to be in charge. So let me allow him drive this vehicle. So I hands up for him. All right. So that gets me working. It helps me.
It seems we've lost him.
Can we still hear me? Okay. Thank you. I've just switched over to my phone because my network is misbehaving. Okay. So let me switch on the camera on my phone. Let's see. I don't know if you can still see me. All right.
Just hold on a bit.
All right. So let's
hold
see.
On a bit. Just hold on a bit. I will share again.
I can't see the slides on my phone right now, but not to worry.
Yes.
Okay. So let's look at
I will share the slides again. Okay.
Let's look at the next thing, which is suggested skills. Suggested skills to learn in 2024. Suggested skills. Now, this is so important for us. One of them I chose is how to use AI tools to solve problems. How to use AI tools to solve problems. Now, this is so important. You see, there's so much talk about artificial intelligence, and some people are angry with it. Some are rejoicing at it. But you see, there's something about globalization. Whether you like it or not, it will come and meet you, no matter where you are. You know, and somebody made a statement which is so profound. He said, your problem is not artificial intelligence, not AI. Your problem is the person using AI. It's a person that has the skill to use artificial intelligence to solve problems. It's not about having the skill. It's about being able to use it to solve problems. All right? So this is so important. How much of the AI tools are we using? We need to go learn it. And it is simplifying work for people right now. Yes, we can argue against some of the things, but I mean, it has come to stay. With AI tools, you can do so much for yourself. This 2024, I don't think any of us should lag behind. I think we should start looking out for those things that we can use to improve our work. AI, so key. I looked at ghostwriting. Many people are making money with it. You can, if you know how to write, you have some writing skills, why not? You can do some ghostwriting and you'll be paid. I know a little girl in the university that is making money from this now. You know, she made over 200,000 the other time. I was so proud of her. One of my colleagues' daughter. And I was saying, this is what we're talking about. She's not just sitting down and waiting for her parents. You know. So this is very so key. Also, I looked at copywriting. Copywriting is such an exciting part that we can look at. Selling a business, writing and selling a business, so important. It's something that you must learn. I've been working on learning copywriting to become a very good copywriter. It's an interesting thing and it will bring money any day, anytime. Proofreading is also something that is selling remotely that you can do. You see, I added this thing because a lot of people have looked down on technical skills. Technical skills. Many people look down on it. And it's so important. You know that some of these skills are skills that no matter how AI develop, they will never take over those skills. Those guys will always be relevant. You know, except it's a lazy carpenter. They can't be hungry. Except it's a lazy plumber. It's a lazy. I mean, these people, you know, a lot of these people have gone abroad. Many of us do not know that this brain drain has affected those with technical skills seriously in this country. The guy that welds for me, that does a lot of things for me, fabricates some things for me, the guy has gone abroad to Canada, doing very well. They were looking for him. So these skills are so important. People look down on them, but so much money in it. You must learn some of these thinking and analytical skills. Design thinking. And some of these things are even free. Some of these things you can learn them free of charge. Design thinking, where you empathize, you brainstorm, you do. I'm just showing you like the steps in design thinking. You start with empathy, putting yourself in the shoes. You need to use it to solve problems. Putting yourself in the shoes of those that you are trying to, reach. What are their needs? What are the pain points? And so on and so forth. It's so good to learn them. Design thinking. Then you brainstorm. Divergent and convergent thinking. Bring all the ideas. Put them together till you can get the best idea. And then, you prototype, testing, and so on and so forth. All of these things, very important. Analytical skills. There's something, I read a report I think that was about 2 years ago or so, Harvard Business Review report, where they said after, a survey, the number one sought after skill in leadership was emotional intelligence, empathy. That was one of the most sought after skills in leadership. It's important that we go improve on our emotional intelligence. Learn it now. A people person can never be stranded. People person is how to deal with people. People person skill. In fact, there's a full book by John Maxwell, How to Become a People Person, or Become a People Person. I have that book. I've read that book. It's so important to know how to deal with people, to work with people. Remember the Carnegie, I think it's Andrew Carnegie. He said that I would pay anything under the sun for the ability to work with people. And that was a guy that had over 21 millionaires in his establishment at a time. And so when you think about some of these guys, the truth is this, that every organization is as strong as the ability to work together. Once there's division, there's no coherence, then it is already on its way to destruction. And he said, remember that word, united we stand, divided we fall. All right? So being a people person is so key. Street credibility and intelligence. This list is by no means exhaustive, but it is just some things suggested. Right? Street credibility. It's so important. A lot of us lack street credibility. It is time to go back to it. A lot of people cannot handle the street. A lot of the children we are raising today, they don't even have what it takes to handle the street like some of us can do. You have to be able to survive the street, my brother, my sister. You must learn it too. While we are talking about emotional intelligence quotient, and so on and so forth, one of the intelligence we must develop is street intelligence. Street intelligence. I can tell you the street guys cannot go hungry. Those with street intelligence, because they know what to say about time. These guys will adjust at any time. And that's what a good marketer is. A marketer is a street intelligent guy or lady, knows where to go, pursues it, and so on and so forth. So this is so key. All right? Street intelligence. All right. Okay. I can see my time is nearly over. So let me try to now conclude with a closing remark. I can see the what do you call it, presentation slide is out. I think is Mike still with us or is gone now?
Yes, I'm here. Can you see the
okay
slides?
Now there's this popular saying that I think in the 2000s, I remember then the early 2000s, tough times don't last, but tough people do. It is still so true today. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. The question you must ask yourself is that, how tough are you? There's a scripture that says, if you faint in the days of adversity, your strength is small. What you need to ask yourself, therefore, is how strong or how resilient is my strength. So you must build your resilience level. Tough people will always outlast tough times. Always outlast tough times. All right? So tough times don't last, but tough people do. And this still holds true today for survival and to thrive. But this will be determined by our attitudes. Attitude is the inward disposition that determines behavior. What kind of attitude do you have concerning the times we are in? If it is negative, you will never see any opportunity. But if it is positive, never say die. You will always find a way to make progress in spite of the times. But I want you to know that one thing I've come to discover that is stronger even than the most positive attitude is the covenant in the Word of God. As a child of God, I've studied the Bible, I've looked at it, and I've come to see that everybody, if you read it, if you study Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, all these guys, they walked in covenant. There's always, you hear covenant always repeatedly mentioned with them. Covenant. And that tells you that the Almighty God has an integrity to protect and if he has promised his people that he will take care of them, then be rest assured that he will do. So it is nothing to fear. It is instead a time to strengthen our faith in God and to stand knowing that he will come through for us. All right? And so important. So faith is actually a function of how much we know. How much do we know of this God? And that will help us to thrive in hard times. So I want to congratulate you because I know that you have made it through. You have the right approach, the right attitude. So I think it will be in place to say congratulations, my beloved friend. Good evening.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we please give him a virtual round?
Please, Mike, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
All right.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. We have some people have raised their hands. So we take the questions. Okay. Permit me to take the questions first from the chat box. Okay. We have some noise coming. Could you mute your mic,
Yes,
please?
I have done.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, let's take the question from our daddy, Godson Uzuku first. He says, do you think our population growth is a disadvantage? And what lessons can we learn from China's experience model in leveraging on population growth? I don't know, sir, if you can.
That is an amazing question. It's so good. Good question. You know, population actually is supposed to be an advantage, but it is not about just numbers. It's about equality. All right. So when you hear that we say, let us invest in human capital development, there's a reason for it. And that is what the Chinese did. The Chinese made their population productive. And it turned out to become an advantage for them. So everybody goes to China to produce because they have population, they have cheaper means of production. And so China seems to be the production capital of the world. Simple, because they were able to work on their human capital development, develop human capital, and turn it into an advantage. That's what we have not been able to do. Remember, in Nigeria today, 133 or so people are living in multi-dimensional poverty. When you look at multi-dimensional poverty, what makes it up? You see education. It's a serious part of it. Now, that tells us something. So if you look at our population, there are very few, numbers that are actually productive. And that's why instead of it being a blessing to us, it has become like a curse. it has become like a curse. Now, think about it. How many states are productive? How many states in Nigeria are productive that you say without oil money, if they say let's do real federalism and say everybody take care of your own resources, sell, and so on and so forth, how many states will remain? All right? How many states can actually function? So that tells you something. Yes, a challenge. We have a huge potential, but we have not been able to harness it. So I agree with him that China is a lesson, but can we learn the lesson? That is the issue, because we must begin to develop it. It's only in developing our human capital that we can turn it into an advantage. Otherwise, it will continue to bring us down. It will continue to become a dead weight instead of, instead of a treasure. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Population growth can become a dead weight instead of a treasure. Okay, thank you. So it's produce, human capital development, learn a skill. That's the only way out. We have a second question here before we take those who have raised their hands off. He said, good evening, sir. This is from Chisom E. Please, you talked about making investments, except from Forex. What other investments would you advise for someone that does not earn a lot of money monthly?
Okay, if you can do some savings. You see, one of the things, the myth about savings that I've tried to deal with is the fact that people say it's not enough, so what is there to save? And I always say it's not true, because it's just that we have not put our mind to it. You see, we save towards investments, really, and you don't need to start big. I like the formula of Fela Dorotoye. He says, start small, grow fast, think big. So the issue is, what do you see? What do you see? Where do you see yourself? And build towards it. You can start small, but you are not allowed to remain small. All right? I know where I started with. I started by putting 5,000 away every month at some point. It didn't look like anything, but I was surprised that after 1 year of putting it, I saw what it resulted into, and I began to increase. All right? The truth is, that money you receive every month, if your employer decides to take a portion of it, you will adjust. It is a law, Parkinson's law. It's the second law, that a man's needs will always grow to fit into his income. So if your income grows, somehow you will just adjust, right? So you can save and gradually go there. Do you know that mutual funds, you can invest at 5,000? You can start with as small as 5,000 for mutual funds and just grow. And it's so flexible. Just put it there, just continue to grow. And there's no, anytime, if it's every day you want to put it, you put it. If it's every month, just continue to put it, and you get your emails, you see how your investment is doing. So please, if you look at the size, you will not start. And it's not good to look at the size. Instead, keep your eyes on your vision. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Let's see. We have a hand up. Tessie Shima Mbam. Tessie, could you unmute your mic, please, and ask your questions? Thank you. Tessie, your hand is raised up, except if it was raised in error. Your hand is raised up, Tessie. If you have a question, could you ask, please?
Okay, yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, my question is based on, like you made mention, when I actually joined, you made mention of investing in crypto, investing in Bitcoin, and the rest of it. What about someone that doesn't have the experience and you would love to invest in such a asset? How do you do that?
Investing in what? Sorry, I didn't get that. Sorry.
Cryptocurrency.
Crypto.
Or
Oh, crypto.
yeah.
We talked about I've talked about this crypto thing. You know, crypto is a complex stuff. It's a blockchain and the rest. It's for me, I don't have any investment in crypto. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. You know, I have a principle: invest in what I can understand, right? That's what I do. There are people that really understand crypto and they are making a lot of money from it. Okay, but I don't understand it, so I have not tried it personally. I've not tried crypto. I can tell you of many other things, but crypto, I've not tried it. I learned that from some of the wealthiest men. When I listened to them, they said they only invest in a business that they or any one member of their team can understand. So because I've tried to understand crypto, maybe because I'm a banker and I've tried to fathom it, how it works, and because I cannot do that, I didn't invest. And that's why I've never really invested in many of these things that people talk about that are so good. I never invested in MMM, for instance, that people invested in all these things. I don't do those things, you know. So, but if you can, you know, Marie Curie said, nothing in life is to be feared, it is only to be understood. So, you know, the issue is, do you understand it? Just try to go and understand. If you can understand it and know how it works, there are people that have gone into crypto and lost everything. There are those that have made so much money from it. You know, so it's dicey. It's not something I can actually present. It's supposed to be a means of exchange. Maybe later on it will be something that people are beginning to look at it as a way of payment. You know, but once we can sort out the KYC issues and the rest, then of course it might be adopted. But for now, I really cannot help you that much on crypto. But there are other investments you can do. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. You have another hand up. Belema, your hand is up. Could you please unmute and ask your questions, please? Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you very much for the insightful presentation, Mr. Tony. So I have a question. You listed when you were talking about TBs, investment in the money market, mutual funds. I'm interested in mutual funds. Could you maybe share a bit more the how to on that?
It's a simple thing. Just get into any place that offers mutual funds, fill their form, give them money. They will of course get your information. Try to establish know your customer things, so your ID card and so on and so forth, and then you credit them and you start from there. So usually they will send you a statement of account every day, because it's actually buying. Mutual funds means you are buying units. What mutual funds actually means is a large pool of people coming together to put funds together for investments. You know, so if I come, maybe I can raise ₦1 million. That will not get me anywhere. But imagine if we have, you know, like 1,000 people that can bring 10,000 naira, then that is a huge pile of funds. If we invest that, we can negotiate rates, we can do a lot of things, and then when the return comes, you can share. So what comes from mutual fund, they call it yield. So when it yields, they share according to your unit, the unit that you own. All right. It is very safe. I think one of the safest investments I've seen, almost risk-free. So it's not a bad idea. So you walk into any bank that offers it, that has capital part of it. For instance, First Bank, we have the ABN Quest. So we have a mutual fund there that is managed by ABN Quest. And as a rule, anybody managing a mutual fund cannot keep the money in their bank as a rule. So the ABN Quest money is kept with Citibank. From there, it is invested and yield given every quarter. So it's something you can do if you think it's something that you like. And you can start with as low as 5,000 naira and just build your portfolio. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. You have a question in the chat box again. It said, thank you from Yemi. Thank you for sharing great insight. The current increase in MPR, okay, has somewhat increased treasury bills returns. Do you think that increased MPR would also have a positive effect on Eurobonds returns?
No, it wouldn't. Eurobonds different. We don't have any hand in that. Now, if you look at America, you know there was a time America reduced their own rates to almost zero, and then you had a lot of cheap funds going out, and then that's where you saw the techs coming up, doing so well. America has increased interest rates now, so that is to rein in inflation. So they are trying to mop up. So of course, it's beginning to affect people. People cannot get cheap funds. Eurobonds are bonds that are set up there. I don't think it will. It will. We don't have much. That one is subject to market forces, actually. You know. It will
Okay,
not
sorry, he has corrected it. He said he meant FGN Eurobond.
Yes, it's the same thing, really. We don't have control over that one. All right. What we do, we put up those bonds, really, you know, but it's a form of raising money for us and the rest. But there's a limit to which we can give out. There's a limit to which we can give out. The MPRO really is for the Nigerian economy. All right, for the Nigerian economy. That one is worldwide. We want to look at the global thing. Of course, we can do. I don't know what is going. I've not checked really. I would have checked with our investment people to know what Eurobonds going on for, what the rate is. But the MPRO, I don't see it affecting it. I don't see it affecting it because that will be determined mainly by the global market. But what you will be sure that will be affected by the MPRO. It's just like talking about, It's just like talking about the stock exchange. The MPRO will have nothing to do with the stock market.
I think we have lost him. Can anyone hear him?
Those things can be affected by the stock market, by the MPRO, all right? So it wouldn't, I don't think it will have any real impact here. Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir. You have a question in the chat box, then I will go to those who have raised their hands. It says federal and state government 2024 to 2026 budget allocation and projection tend to focus on defense and infrastructure while tending to encourage investment in agribusiness value chain. 26% of our GDP came from agri.
Yes.
What is your take on investment in agribusiness value and the value chain, given the current challenges on security?
Yes, it's a bright question, very good question, because you see the issue with agri actually is one of the major contributors to our GDP. All right. It's one of the major contributors. Oh my!
I think we have an echo. Do you have two devices with you? You may need to put one off, sir. Okay. Okay, you are muted. If you have two devices, you may need to put one off. I think it will be clearer that way. I don't know if we've lost him on the call.
Well, I'm still here.
Okay.
Let me mute. Okay.
Maybe the other one. If it's on the laptop, you remove the volume completely.
Okay, so can you?
You are muted. You are muted. You are muted.
Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. This network just keeps okay, fine. The agric thing, agric has continued to contribute a major part essentially to our GDP. But here is the catch. Even though agric is contributing over 20-something% to our GDP, over 90% of revenue comes from oil. Right? So you can see the dilemma. But if agric is doing well, then we would have taken care of inflation. Right? Because food inflation is actually one of the major variables that is, fueling inflation today in Nigeria. And the major problem with food is insecurity. Okay? So that is the challenge. So I said it's a good question. The agric value chain is wide. In fact, I was in a farm some days ago. The guy has about 300 acres. He has only been able to cultivate about 150. And you need to hear this guy's vision. But no real support. And I went into that place to look at what he was doing. At a point, my heart was in my mouth because I saw the track of cattle and the rest. And I told him, I'm not comfortable. And he said, no, we have an arrangement. They wouldn't touch us. We don't touch them. We just leave. I said, wow. That because it's been crazy in this country. So that is the challenge, insecurity. But there are still places. Remember that reporting some of these things are not as bad as some people put it. There are places really that these things are. There are also places that over time we are not really taking time to go into agriculture, but we can do. There are places in Delta, for instance, that there is really no issue with insecurity, but there is no investment in agriculture. Also, people are beginning to look at, is it aeroponics they call it? I don't know if I'm correct. Where you don't need to plant on the land, they are now beginning to plant. They just set up these things in the air and they plant. There's a guy that I saw his profile. He's a microbiologist, doing a great job in this country. And he's bringing out cucumber and the rest. So, yes, agric is so important. If we can harness agric, and when you hear people like Peter Obi talking about it, he knows what he's saying. If we can make investment in agric in this country and the agricultural value chain, we don't have a business being poor as a country. We have no business being poor. We will do a lot of export, and we will not have issues with our forex. With forex, we will not have it. All right. So you are correct. It is a place worth investing, but please, it's better to be alive. Please look for places that are safe to invest, but it's a good place, especially cucumber. Cucumber is doing so well in the market right now. There are other things like there are other things that take some time, but you may want to do the ones that are fast and begin to just get money from there while you invest in the long-term things like palm and I've forgotten the botanical name for Ogbono. People that have huge investment in those things, they don't sell it here. You have companies abroad that just come, enter MOUs with them and take it abroad. So there's so much prospect in the agri value chain. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. We will just take two last questions for the two hands that are up. Chisom E and Aneto Williams. So let's take you, Chisom, and we take the last one from Aneto Emmanuel. Chisom, go ahead, please.
Okay, good evening, sir. Please, I wanted to ask about the stock markets, because I've been trying to find a place to invest money in, and then I tried to make research about stock markets, and then they told me that I need to get a stock broker, and I don't know what that is, and even if there are things like that, do we have stock brokers in Nigeria here?
Yes.
And would you advise someone to buy stocks? Because I heard that it's obviously an investment, but then you're taking a big risk because you don't know whether or not the outcomes will be profitable to you. So I want to know about the stock brokers, and then what are your thoughts on stock investments, buying stocks in companies? And things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It's
Thank
not a bad place to invest. Stock. It depends on your, like I said, your investment strategy really, because I don't always advise stock in the short term. Investment in stock should be a long-term investment where you can now get value for your money. All right. I've had stocks that dated back since let me see, 2006. I've been following some companies and I've been investing there, and I've been getting value for money, dividends. If I sell now, I know what I'll make. All right. So it depends on your investment strategy, really. So that's it about stock. Now you need a stockbroker really, because you can't just walk into the stock exchange and say, I want to buy stock. There are people that are authorized to trade in the floor, on the floor of Nigeria stock exchange, and those are stockbroking firms, and they are in Nigeria. If you take your phone, go to Google and put list of stockbroking firms, if depending on where you are, if you are in Delta, list of stockbroking firms in Delta State, they will give you a list. Now, follow companies. You see, a lot of times when people publish their financials, it's important to look at them. That's where you see what we call fundamentals. What is the quality of management? Go and research the directors. You know, where have they been? What have they done? It will tell you, right? Have they had corporate governance issues? Have they had issues? How long have they lasted? And so on and so forth. All these things are fundamentals. You look at their profit and so on and so forth. Have they continued to deliver for their investors? When you look at all of that, you know that this is a great place to invest. And there are also some stock, when you look at the value the company, you look at the value they are presenting, they are giving out, you know they are underpriced. They are underpriced. You know, like I said now, MTN, their entire share capital has been eroded. You know, and somebody was complaining that he just woke up and discovered that his MTN portfolio is negative. You know, but I mean, that is a good company. It's not like anything is wrong with that company, but just that they made mistakes with Forex. Is it really mistakes where the Forex is just hit them because they were trading, they were valuing their books at about 600 and something naira or 700 and something naira. Suddenly, one day, someone just made a statement and just changed it to 1,400. So that is crazy. And it just eroded them. You know, so you have different consumer goods companies also going through the same thing. But they are going to adjust. They are going to adjust. They are resilient, agile companies, and then they will pick up. So these are people you look at that you say, okay, can I do something now? All right. The banking industry has continued to witness good turnout for investors. So you see people, if you look at what is happening in Nigerian Stock Exchange now, it has been bullish. That's the word they use, bullish. People have been buying. And you see majorly traders are going for banking stocks. So there's a reason why they are doing that. So you can look at trends. You can do that research. You can even use GBT, and put it there. It can tell you those things in Nigeria if it has that data. Anyway, sometimes these AI things, they don't have all the data. You can use Google, all right? And you'll get some things. So you need to do your research too. And you also talk with the stockbroker, let them advise you, all right? But like I told you, how you can get a list of them, you can start from there. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Please, could you give him a virtual hand clap, please? Thank you very much, Sir Tony, for what you've done today. I guess a lot of people have been inspired in one way or the other to make some choices and to take some actions and to determine their destinies. Thank you very much. We're going to share the slides on the Aspire for Excellence Foundation WhatsApp group. So if you want to have it, please go to the chat, just right here in front of my screen. Click on this link, you will join automatically, and then we can share the materials, because I think you would need to consult it. But other than that, what a splendid night. And I really, really want to thank you for coming once We'll be having a presentation from a lady, Obi. She was a banker too. She's an entrepreneur now. She moved from banking and she has several lines of business on taking action and how to start. Her name is Ijoma Ruby, so she will be here with us next month. On starting. I don't have money. I don't have much. How do I start? And she will share her story on how she started, hoping to inspire some of us. A former banker, now turned is an MD CEO of her bank, and it's coming from a female folk. So it's also a challenge for every one of us. So thank you very much, sir, once again. So thank you, Mr. Adeyemi. Adolphus, thank you. Emmanuel, thank you. Antonia Room, thank you. Otto Pinkney, thank you. Babatunde Oludeomi, thank you. Belema, thank you. Amos, thank you. Chibuza, thank you. Chisom E, thank you. Chukwemeka John, thank you. Chukuma, thank you. Dandison, thank you. AGK, thank you. Thank you. Berimako, thank you. George, thank you. Oga, Godson Uzuku, I doff my hat. Thank you. Ijoma Obi, our next speaker, is also here for April. She's here already. Thank you. Jerry, thank you. John Okoro, thank you. Kenneth, thank you. Naomi Adamu, thank you. Nkechi, thank you. Olaya Shola, thank you. Wale Obayomi, thank you. Papayo Sekwene, thank you. Roslyn, thank you. Dr. Sabi, thank you. Samadi, thank you. Solomon Ayano, thank you. Shoye, thank you. Stanley, thank you. Tessie, thank you also for your questions. Mr. Tony, thank you. Tunde, thank you. And lastly, Victoria Chuku, thank you, and do have a splendid night and enjoy the rest of your weekend all. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Thank you.